Hi, it's Arminda, and I'm doing the controversial parent tag. The first one is pro-life versus pro-choice. Um, I lean more towards pro-life. Obviously, it's not going to fit everyone. It's not a one-size-fits-all situation. It's a very sensitive subject, but I think first of all, sex education is extremely important, and people really need to know more about their bodies, how they work. There are situations out there where I think it's up to that person, and I think a lot of thought needs to go into it before you're sexually active, and if you do get pregnant, you need a lot of thought and research needs to go into it. So I don't know. That's not really an answer, is it? I lean more towards pro-life, but I understand pro-choice. Anyway, next question is baby wearing. I love baby wearing. I think it's great. I think it really helps when babies are super fussy, and it really calms them down, and it makes you have a great bond with your baby. Next question is circumcision. My son is circumcised. I didn't put any research into it, honestly, when it happened, and that sounds horrible, but I really didn't. And now that I've been hearing a lot of moms talk about circumcision, shouldn't do it for these reasons, I'm like, oh, okay. So I kind of had my eyes opened up to it. The next question is adoption. I think adoption is wonderful. If we had the money in the future after our third child, I would love to adopt. I think it's great. Baby piercing. I don't really have anything against people who do it, but I wouldn't do it because I didn't get my ears pierced until I was about 7. Me and my mom, we made it a day. It was a special event. I decided to get my ears pierced, and we had a great day that day. It was very painful, I remember that, but I was very excited to do it. My eldest sister never got her ears pierced, so in my family it was always by choice, and I think I'm going to do the same thing. So breast milk versus formula. I think breast milk, breastfeeding and stuff is superior to formula. Obviously, there's circumstances where that doesn't work. My son was on formula and breast milk till he was about 8 months old, and then I went to formula feeding until he was a year old. I think now that I'm educated, I've been through it. My daughter was exclusively breastfed. I mean, no bottles. She would never take a bottle, so she was always to my breast. She did it till she was 13 months old, and she weaned herself. I would have liked her to go until she was 2. It didn't work out, so. But I really support breastfeeding, and I think there needs to be more support in our community. I don't have any negative feelings against formula. Like I said, my son had formula. But I think you should honestly put your best effort into breastfeeding, whether you work or stay home or whatever. Put your best effort into it. The next subject is spanking. I was spanked as a kid, all 4 of us, my siblings. We're all spanked. Old school. My dad was spanked hardcore. My mom, not so much. But we even had the belt, and go pick a switch. So it was like really old school spanking. I don't have any negative feelings from my parents about it. I don't know what to say really about spanking. With my kid, I'll just share my experience with my kids. I will not hurt them by any means, but I will swat them gently on their bottom. It's not even a spank, it's like a swat. Get out of my kitchen, like when I'm cooking and they're running around in the kitchen, I'll say, okay, get out of my kitchen. Get out of my kitchen. It's not a painful or hurtful anything. It's just a tap. I could even probably tap them on the shoulder and get them their attention. It's just an attention getter. I don't do it as a punishment. I do it as an attention getter. It doesn't hurt. It's like patting someone on the shoulder to get their attention. So it's not spanking. I don't want to put it in a spanking category. I think young kids like under 5, I just don't think spanking is really a good way to go. Co-sleeping, I love co-sleeping for us. It's not for everyone. But I think it's very, very important to have your newborn in the same room with you for a while because they're so young and something could go wrong in the middle of the night, you know what I mean? And you need to be there. And for us, I breastfed Reagan and Pierce, and um, having them that close, I could sleep a lot more. Moving on, home versus public versus private versus charter schooling. I think it all depends on the family. Don't really have an opinion on that. Where you live, all that stuff. So I don't really have an opinion. Medicating children. If you're talking about Tylenol, or if you're talking about behavioral drugs, I have really strong opinion about behavioral drugs. I really don't think they're necessary unless your child is psychotic. I really don't. I think the most brilliant minds in history were ADD, eccentric, OCD, all of those things. And I think that if you cut that connection to their creativity and their crazy minds, kids are crazy. And I think that you should really support that. And you should point them in the right direction, if they're just wound up crazy and they just want to color all the time and they want to run outside and do this and that, and let them do it. I think problem with public schools is they don't allow that enough. So they tell you as a parent that your kid is crazy and they need medication. Don't do it. Take them out, put them somewhere else. Or, I don't know, find some other school that doesn't support that, because obviously that teacher can't handle them. They're not providing them with enough stimulation, and that's not right for your kid. I think those crazy working minds of children it's so beautiful. It might get under your skin as a parent or a teacher, but I think you really need to allow them to spread their wings and go with it. Do not medicate your children. Do not do it. It does more harm than good. They have done many studies where they found that medicating your kids with behavioral issues actually makes them extremely depressed, and there's way more suicide with medicating your kids than not. Do not medicate them unless your kid is like trying to kill themselves. Then you need to look at other options, something crazy like that. Tylenol and stuff, I think there's other remedies you can do, natural remedies. Your body is, if it has a fever, it's just trying to fight an infection. But I think a minor fever, teething, there's other things you can do. Sore throats and stuff like that. I mean, sometimes your kid just cannot get comfortable, can't sleep because they're in pain, and then you need to do something about it. But I don't overly medicate my kids like some parents do. Like, they do a lot, and I hate telling parents what to do, but I really just want to say stop giving them Tylenol every night so that they can sleep. It's not right. It's not right. Cloth versus disposable diapers. We do cloth diapers. It's not for everyone. Not everyone has the means to wash stinky diapers all the time. But I think if you do, I think it's great. The cried out method. Oh my God. Do not agree with the cried out method at all. At all. Whenever parents say that they do the cried out method, I cringe. And I'm like, so I just want to say something. I just think it's so horrible that you do that to your kid. Like, oh my God. Sometimes it's okay. If you put your baby down, they wake up a little bit and they fuss. You walk out the door, you listen and you hear them fuss, and if they just fall asleep, fine. But if they sit there and shriek and scream and cry, God, just go to your kid, okay? Go see what's going on. Hold them, comfort them. They're not going to be this little for that long. You show them that you're always going to be there for them, whether they're sad or happy, and that, they can have trust in people. I think it's so important that you're there for them. You're the parent, That's your baby. Go comfort them. Well, that was the last question, and if you hate me, I'm very sorry, but these are my opinions. I thought it'd be fun to do this, and I think it'd be fun to see your take on it. This questionnaire went around a long time ago, and it just came back to me, and I'm like, I need to do this. So there we go. Alright guys, thanks for watching.